24 years old when he died. And the other sects don't even know who the Messiah might be. But still they wait. And then, so how in the world do we even reach them for the Messiah? How do we share the love of Yeshua with them? Because I'm going to give you a statistic at the end. Well, these are some of the ways that Tzedakah Ministries that I have started to try to reach out to them with the gospel. If you can see, I'm not going to try to step over again because that kind of hurt for a second. We had this as a billboard in where I live, because I forgot to tell you something. I told Michelle and her friend who's visiting here today. Every year, I live, as I told you, I live in the Catskill regions, but every year, every summer, about 100,000 or even more of the Hasidic Jews of Brooklyn decide 85 degrees is too hot. Y'all would love 85 degrees in the summer. They get up and they move to where I live. And there's usually about 10 to 20,000 Hasidic Jews where I live every day. But it suddenly blossoms to about 125,000, and they move to the bungalows. By the way, I don't live too far from where Dirty Dancing was filmed. And I live about 20 minutes. And so they move there, and they live there all summer. So last summer, we had this billboard up. And it says in Yiddish, Farfosh nicht. Why not? And this bottom line says, isn't it time to cross the bridge, cross the road? And underneath, it takes them to Tzedakah Ministries evangelism website, exploremashiach.com, where we try to answer the 7 basic questions that most every Jewish person has. Can I still be Jewish and believe in Jesus? Where was God in the Holocaust? What is this thing called the incarnation? Can God really become man? What is this Trinity thing that you Christians have? And by the way, it's in English and it's in Yiddish, which is their heart language. And we also have what we call the Rachmamin, which is the Hebrew word for mercy, the Rachmamin outreach. Because you can imagine that if they have 8 to 14 children and they are depending upon the mom who works at Amazon or a clerical job, their finances are a little tight. Now, yes, they get welfare. I'm not going to fib about that. Kiryas Joel is the poorest village in all of New York State. And the other villages close to where I live are some of the poorest places in all of New York. I'm not going to lie, they get help from some of the rabbis. They get assistance under the table. They are still poor. And so, but the Rachmamin outreach tries, and I'll come back to that picture in just a second. We try to provide them school supplies, some food supplies, diapers, snacks, stuff like that for their children. And they know that I am a believer in Yeshua, and they know that I want to share my faith with them. And many of them are just so grateful for help that they'll talk to me. And they are so surprised that a believer in Yeshua is kind to them that they'll take the time to talk to them or talk to me. Because they've never had what they call a Christian believer in Yeshua, believer in Jesus, all synonymous terms. That they're just amazed that a Christian is kind. Because most of the Christians up there are Roman Catholic, and they don't like them. They've had Roman Catholics, Christians, whatever, slam the door in their faces. And I'm the one who holds the door open for them and offers to, and tells them that their kids are beautiful. And they've never had that happen to them before.